Paddy, and this would be even worse at 47. I don't see someone with power in his hands or someone that's got that kind of danger. And I think Ryan's a good solid fighter. I don't think Ryan's anywhere near the levels of Shakur and Devin and those guys. But I think he'd be a big favourite to beat Conor Benn.
These are fights that Conor Benn could very easily lose. So if you're Conor Benn's team, you're trying to get the Garcia fight. Because even if you lose to Ryan Garcia, lose on a big stage. But I, for the life of me, don't understand anyone that thinks that Conor Benn's a bigger fight than Devin Haney. In the U.S., it's definitely not a bigger fight. Like Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney is huge.
Eddie Hearn has warned Conor Benn about taking the Ryan Garcia fight, and his caution makes this matchup seem even more dangerous.
Ryan Garcia has come out and said that a fight between himself and Conor's done for August. But if that's a ring card, would you promote it if Turkey Ashik asked you?
Because, you know, I mean, Conor Benn signed to Zuffa. He didn't fight on a Zuffa card last week. He won't fight on a Zuffa card versus Ryan Garcia because that'll be a Turkey Ashik card. But, you know, if Conor Benn got 15 million to fight Regis Prograis, he'll be getting 20, 25 million to fight Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is the champion. Ryan Garcia should be getting 50 million.
Hearn believes Benn has improved significantly and appears much stronger when he competes above 150. But if the fight takes place at 147 for Ryan's WBC title, that could change everything. He warned that Conor may not have the same power, sharpness, and threat if he has to cut too much weight. That is why Hearn views Ryan as a serious challenge in this fight. Garcia has the speed, timing, and punching power to capitalize on mistakes. And if Benn comes in drained or loses some of his strength, the fight becomes even more dangerous. So, while the matchup carries major hype, Hearn's warning is straightforward. Conor Benn needs to be extremely careful before stepping into a fight like this at welterweight. And that warning comes at a time when the fight feels more realistic than ever. Dana White is now willing to make Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia next. And Conor's new five-fight deal with Zuffa has made the entire situation even bigger. This is no longer just another fantasy matchup being discussed online. With
Garcia and the potential for a fight against him is what everybody's been making noise about. What fight do you want? What have you told Dana White?
Whoever wants it can get it.
That's who you are. I have no doubt about it. But I asked a very direct question. This is first thing. He don't know me that well yet. Who do you want? Like, who's the guy?
Garcia.
That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear, Dana. That's what I was asking about. What about you, Dana?
I agree with everything he said. That's why I'm in the business right now, is to make the fights that people want to see. This sport is way more broken than I even thought it was. I've already done more fights this year, my first year, than all the promoters combined. My job is to figure out how to pay him and pay me. You know, I got to make sure that we make enough money for everybody. His job is to be a badass.
I just want to give people value for money. I want people to want to tune into a Conor Benn fight. I pour my soul into my fights and I give them every
But this is where the business side starts becoming complicated. Eddie Hearn has made it clear that DAZN could be the real factor in whether Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn actually happens. From Hearn's perspective, this fight is not as simple as Dana White, Golden Boy, Zuffa, or the fighters simply agreeing. Ryan Garcia is still tied to DAZN. And if the broadcaster does not approve or become involved in the deal, the entire matchup could collapse before it even becomes official. That changes the story completely. Now, it is not only Ryan versus Benn. It is Dana White, Oscar de la Hoya, DAZN, Eddie Hearn, Zuffa, and
Garcia is exclusive to DAZN. Therefore, if you want to procure his services, you need to be having a conversation, not just with Oscar de la Hoya, damn right, he's his actual promoter, but also with the broadcaster that holds that exclusivity. But I think they can just walk in, and right now it's a really interesting situation, because if that doesn't get resolved, there will be no Ryan Garcia-Conor Benn fight. And DAZN kind of hold the keys to that, and Dana hates it. Because not just has Dana got to have a conversation with DAZN, I mean Dana won't have the conversation because he's a puppet, but not just as, I don't know, Nick Khan or whoever it's going to be, has got to have a conversation with DAZN. They've got to have a conversation with Oscar de la Hoya. If Dana White is standing up there talking about the fight, Oscar de la Hoya is going to have to be right next to him. That's actually worth making the fight, but I don't think they'll do it. I think he'll say, no, I'm not having it, because this is what they do. There's no flexibility and no kind of desire to work with anybody. So that's the neutral take on this.
But this is where the business side starts becoming complicated. Eddie Hearn has made it clear that DAZN could be the real factor in whether Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn actually happens. From Hearn's perspective, this fight is not as simple as Dana White, Golden Boy, Zuffa, or the fighters simply agreeing. Ryan Garcia is still tied to DAZN. And if the broadcaster does not approve or become involved in the deal, the entire...
But what Dana White also doesn't know is that in Anthony Joshua's contract, it clearly states the fight must take place in the UK. But I don't even think Dana White knows that. I mean, at the moment, and someone said to me, why isn't he kind of just backtracking and go, all right, fair enough, I'm not promoting. I said, do you imagine Dana White sitting up at a press conference and goes, guys, I've got to apologise. I got it wrong. Sorry, Eddie Hearn. So what he's doing now is he's doubling down, he's trebling down, and he'll just try and find a way where he can pretend that he sort of played some kind of role. Because Zuffa is incapable of actually making a really big fight on their own right now. So this is his way of saying, I'm the promoter. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like, no, you're not. Like, I'm not even saying I'm the promoter. But I know one thing, you can't be involved because it's in the contracts of both fighters. Do you know what I mean? And the fight must take place in the UK, in our contract. Now, Turki Al-Sheikh is also paying the bill. So if Turki Al-Sheikh phoned me up and said, we actually want to do the fight in Las Vegas, I would say, okay, let me speak to Anthony, we'll renegotiate the deal, and we'll look...
DAZN could be the real factor in whether Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn actually happens. From Hearn's perspective, this fight is not as simple as Dana White, Golden Boy, Zuffa, or the fighters simply agreeing. Ryan Garcia is still tied to DAZN. And if the broadcaster does not approve or become involved in the deal, the entire matchup could collapse before it even becomes official. That changes the story completely. Now, it is not only Ryan versus Benn. It is Dana White, Oscar De La Hoya, DAZN, Eddie Hearn, Zuffa, and Paramount all gathered around the same fight trying to
Ryan Garcia is great for boxing. I think he's a liability. I think he's a loose cannon. I think he's unpredictable. Could say unprofessional. But ultimately, he's sheer entertainment. Gifted. He's got great hand speed.
Eddie Hearn has said, and a lot of people agree, commercially, if Ryan were to win, you and him, whether it's here, whether it's in the UK, one of the biggest fights to be made.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ryan's a character. I think he does good numbers. If Ryan does win, no doubt we can make Ryan at Wembley in London.
And while the business drama continues to build behind the scenes, Conor Benn's own comments about Ryan Garcia are making the fight feel personal. Calling Ryan a liability, a loose cannon, unpredictable, and even unprofessional may sound like
to be the man that's possessed. It really is. It feel like Conor Benn is possessed. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I look at him in his eyes, and you don't gotta be that. You don't gotta be that good, bro. You don't have to have that much skill when you possessed on something. You really want something you possessed on. You don't have to have that much skill.
Regis Progress also made it clear that Conor Benn is not someone Ryan Garcia can afford to overlook. According to Regis, Benn may not be the smoother or more skilled fighter, but he possesses something that can still make him dangerous.
I think Ryan does have better skill. Ryan is fast, big hook and stuff like that. But Conor has power. And power can change everything, bro. When you got power, one punch can change everything. So I think it'll be a very interesting fight. Like I said, I think that skill-wise, of course, I lean more towards Ryan. But Conor's hungry. It's hard to beat somebody that's hungry, that wants to be a champion. It's hard to beat him, bro. And it'll be, if they do make that fight happen, it'll be very interesting to see what'll happen.
So, Benn fights like a man who desperately wants to prove a point. That kind of hunger can make a fighter difficult to deal with, especially when he also carries genuine power. Regis still sees Ryan as the sharper boxer because of his speed, timing, and left hook. But he also believes Benn's pressure and right hand.
If I had to pick, I would think if somebody would get stopped. I think of course, in boxing it's possible, but I would think somebody would get stopped in that fight. Because both of them, Conor can punch, Ryan is fast, he can punch also. I think it could go a distance, but I think if I had to pick, I would think, I think he gets stopped. Whoever lands, Ryan is fast, he has a real good check hook, he's fast with that, but Conor has a lot of power in the right hand also.
That is why Regis does not view this as a simple boxing match. He sees two explosive fighters who can both hurt each other. And when you place that kind of power and pressure in the same ring, one mistake can be enough to end the night.
I'm not too high on Conor Benn. I don't believe in his skill set. I don't believe him as a fighter. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not like against him in no type of way, but he hasn't won me over as a fan, as a believer in him, as being somebody in boxing.
Bernie also gave a blunt take on Conor Benn potentially fighting Ryan Garcia for the WBC title. From his perspective, Benn being pushed into that position says a lot about boxing politics, not just pure achievement. He does not believe Benn's recent victory was enough to clearly earn a championship opportunity, but he also pointed out that Ryan Garcia is receiving a title shot after coming off a loss.
What's your thoughts on him, fighting for the WBC title against Ryan Garcia next?
I mean, well, they pushed him up to number one, so it's politics and money, pressing to number one. I don't think this win warranted a shot at the championship, but Ryan Garcia is coming off a loss and got a shot at the championship. So boxing is a shaky game. I guess if you can quote unquote do numbers or have the right political connections, anything has happened. But I'll favor Ryan Garcia in the match, and that's all I gotta say.
That is why Bernie called boxing a shaky business. Rankings and title opportunities are not always about who deserves them the most. Sometimes it comes down to money, popularity, connections, and who can bring attention to the fight. But when it comes to the actual matchup, Bernie made his choice clear. If Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn meet in the ring, he favors Ryan to win.
Ryan just like a wild card. He definitely got, when he had his best, I definitely see him beating Conor Benn. But like I say, I'd rather definitely fight Conor.
When you said that, you think that Ryan beats him, what do you see? Like, why do you feel that way?
I just think dude will probably run into something. Yeah, I think he'd run into something. He tough, he gonna bring it. But Conor Benn is a good opponent for him or Devin because he gonna bring it. He gonna come to fight. He got some heart, so he gonna come to fight. He ain't gonna do. He's gonna just let you get it the easy way. But I mean, we definitely, definitely destroy him. Like,
yeah. So you're thinking that Ryan Garcia would knock out Benn?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility. Yeah.
Is it a big fight? Conor Benn and him. I heard there's rumors saying that it could be on Netflix.
Nikki Bay also explained why Benn could face real trouble against someone like Ryan Garcia. His reasoning is simple. Ryan has the speed, timing, and power to catch fighters while they are moving forward. And because Benn's style is built around aggression, he could end up walking directly into danger. Mickey still gave Benn credit for being tough, determined, and dangerous. But he also admitted that he could see Ryan winning by knockout. At the same time, he described it as a competitive and interesting matchup, which is exactly why fans are watching closely. This is not just about who looks better on paper. It is about what happens when Ryan's counters meet Benn's pressure. And while all these predictions continue to come in, Conor Benn is clearly putting in serious work. In his latest training footage, he is unloading vicious power shots on the mitts. And every punch looks like it has bad intentions behind it. That is the kind of intensity fans expect from Benn. Because his whole style is built on pressure, aggression, and making opponents uncomfortable. Ryan may have the faster hands and the dangerous left hook. But Benn looks like he is preparing to walk him down and test him physically. If this fight gets made, Benn's camp is already sending a message. He is not coming to box safely. He is coming to hurt Ryan and make the fight rough. Sergio Mora looked at the fight from a different perspective and focused more on timing and promotion. In his view, Zuffa throwing big money around can make fights happen, but that does not always mean the matchup has the right momentum. Sergio said if Conor Benn had delivered a huge knockout win over Regis Pro, then the Ryan...
And when Zuffa is spreading that money around, overpaying guys like Conor Benn that doesn't deserve it, Conor Benn, if he would have had a knockout, if he would have had a red-hot performance in his last fight and knocked out Prograis, guess what? I would have been on board for that Garcia, because timing matters, not only in boxing, but in promotion. Timing matters. So with both of them coming off a huge win, Conor Benn a knockout, Ryan Garcia, knocking down and becoming champion, knocking down that barrier I thought he was never going to knock out. That's what you can sell. But
Then Gary Logan changed the tone around the fight by saying Conor Benn can beat Ryan Garcia. That is a big statement because a lot of people still see Ryan as the sharper boxer with faster hands and more dangerous one-shot power. But from Gary's perspective, Conor's pressure, fitness, and hunger could make this fight very uncomfortable for Ryan. Benn is not coming to stand at range and admire Ryan's speed. He is going to push forward, make it physical, and test Ryan every round. If Ryan gets dragged into a rough fight instead of controlling the pace, that is where Conor could start taking.
This is what he's wanted. This is like, he's got to want this, and he must want it. He's chased it. Like we said about Benavidez earlier on in the show, David Benavidez. Some fighters run towards challenges and some run away from it. And Conor has openly said, "I want to fight for the WBC belt," and he must know that. We all knew that Ryan was going to beat Barrios. Didn't think he'd dominate in the manner that he did, but he knew that somewhere down the road, if he was going to go for that WBC belt, all roads run through Ryan Garcia.
Conor Benn's a puncher. He's got to be explosive.
Got to
do the kind of stuff that Rolly Romero done.
Yeah.
Make it an awkward dogfight, just like he did in the Eubank fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he can go there.
Yeah.
He can go to the well, and I think when he does go to the well and really explodes, and he's like, instead of boxing so much, but when he has that dog in him, I think that's the way to be.
Derek Chisora and Simon Jordan also discussed the possible clash between Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia, and they looked closely at the expectations surrounding Benn. Simon pointed out that Benn has made money and built his name, but he also suggested that Benn has been carefully matched throughout his career. In his view, Ryan Garcia would represent a major step up. That is where the real question begins. Is Benn ready for someone who has fought on a bigger stage with more speed, more reach, and more global attention? Or would this be the fight where people finally see the difference between...
A lot of people think that Conor has been wonderfully matched, marvellously matched, made enormous amounts of money, which no one begrudges people making money. But it's been wonderfully matched to achieve that. Ryan Garcia, whatever we may or may not think about his performance against Tank Davis, is at a level that could possibly expose Conor Benn to what people think is that he's not at this level. What's your view on that? Do you think he gets exposed in this fight, Conor?
Listen, Conor is my pal, so I'm not going to sit here and try to mess up his name. This is a good fight for him. He's always wanted a big fight. Now he's getting it on Mexico Independent.
But Wade explained that this fight is not just about rankings or money. According to him, there is a genuine personal edge behind it. Ryan Garcia has already said part of the reason he wants Conor Benn is because of what happened when they crossed paths at an event. At first, it looked like a normal interaction, but things quickly became tense. Conor came across as heated while Ryan seemed like he was trying to talk and keep it light. But once Conor told him that the famous left hook would not work on him, the whole situation changed. That line may have sounded confident, but it also made the fight feel even more dangerous because if there is one punch Ryan is known for, it is that left hook. And Wade made it clear that Conor may be taking a serious risk.
I love this fight. I think people are being way too harsh on Conor Benn, like we said on the show last week. He fought a very tough style in Regis Prograis, who, yes, is at the end of his career, but nonetheless a crafty southpaw who knows how to handle himself, who likes to scrap. So Conor Benn, I think like we say, right, it's a cliche, but win this time, look good next time. And I think Conor Benn will look a lot better against Ryan Garcia. I know Ryan's the favorite, but if the fight does get finalized, all I know is...
Jeff Mayweather gave a more balanced but honest take on Conor Benn. According to him, Benn may be receiving both too much attention and not enough respect at the same time. He does not see everyone praising Benn as if he is already proven at the highest level, but he also believes the money and spotlight around him make the hype feel bigger than his actual resume. From Jeff's point of view, part of the attention comes from the Benn name because Conor's father, Nigel Benn, is a respected figure in boxing. That family name opens doors and places Conor in major conversations, even though Jeff feels he still has not achieved enough in the ring to fully earn that level of attention. So, when people talk about Ben, the question becomes simple. Is the boxing world judging him for what he has done or for the name he carries?
Do you think that Conor Benn is being overlooked or overhyped?
Probably a little bit of both. I mean,
I haven't really heard anyone hyping him.
well, the thing is that
Except Zuppa paying
Yeah,
him all
yeah.
that money for that one fight.
well, that's enough.
That's overhyped.
That's hype.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I mean, don't get me wrong, but I mean, he has. It's not necessarily his name. It's his dad's name.
Right. Nigel Benn.
That's actually, you know, putting him in these situations. So I mean, he hasn't really done a whole lot.
Make sure to check out our other videos on the screen. Thanks for watching Knockout Daily Boxing Glove. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more non-stop boxing updates, fight breakdowns, training clips, and knockout moments. Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us who you want to see next, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a punch.